Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Torchlight. Let's continue. So, we're on level 28 and we're trying our best to figure out ways, if there are any ways, to increase our per click action time. That's really the only thing I think that's going to solve what is quite frankly a daunting 20 remaining levels plus side levels plus side quests. There is a chance also that we have gone too far and missed a side quest. If that's the case, then I would have to go, I guess, up a few levels, and that's not something I would be willing to do, frankly. The idea is frankly so unappealing to go back to the main area and start on level 1 and then wander all the way back down to level 28. I couldn't see any reason why you'd really want to do that. Of course, there are some scenarios, I guess, where that could happen. If you did not have a fast travel waypoint, you would have to start at the beginning, but by the time you're at level 5 you should have at least one fast travel waypoint, so that kind of makes it unlikely that that would ever happen. Also, you would have to have not implemented any kind of town scroll, and you would have had to chosen to not respawn in the dungeon, which, while if you respawn in the exact same place where you die, you lose experience and fame. If you respawn at the beginning of the dungeon for that floor, you only lose gold, and it's kind of an insignificant small amount of gold, it seems. Anyways, so then the only reason I guess that you would need to run through all the levels a second time would be if perhaps there was a imbalance happening, which might happen on the harder difficulties, but certainly would not happen on the easy difficulty I'm playing on. Yeah, it would not make any sense at all that I'd need to go back up a level. I'm not sure going up levels would even cause new enemies to respawn, so there really might not be anything to that concept anyways. If I needed to grind more and get my levels up, I think you probably don't have much of an opportunity to do that more than where we already are. I guess maybe if I had skipped a lot of the portal missions, something like that would occur. Looks like this is the path that keeps going. So the other way must be the dead end. This is twice now in the past couple levels where we've run into a scenario where you could go in opposite directions, and you're kind of constantly running into that as a problem, where the game lets you wander a little bit too far until you realize that you're missing things. Gold in this vault. Is there anything else in this vault? I guess I got it all. It's fairly ridiculous that you're constantly playing like this, or you constantly need to play like this, where you're just like, let's move, let's move, let's move. An implementation of a dash move on a spell would probably be useful. just to move through areas. So here's a thought. I've never seen this done in a Diablo game, but we certainly have seen it in other games. What if there was just a barrier in the area? If you were going to take my suggestion to try to modernize the style of game and make it so that every item drop is important and you really should pick up and use any bit of equipment you see or that you're given, you would then want it in a scenario where it was close to impossible to miss any items. And to expand on that thought, you would want to make levels that are custom designed and it was close to impossible to miss most of the level, whereas I guess if you just kind of rolled the dice and went in one direction and kept going in one direction, if you were just trying to speed it. Okay, that was the quest that I thought we had missed. I suspect that even if we had missed it on a floor, they maybe would have respawned it on the next floor. I'm not sure that that's true. I don't know if I want to really give this game that much credit, considering some of the other ways things are sort of half done. But yeah, what if instead of really wide, big levels using repeated areas, what if it was you got to a section like this, there was a red wall that said you can't go any further until you've killed all the enemies in this area. That would then normalize the grinding for better or for worse. Everybody would have to do the same amount of grinding and everybody would have the same experience.
My inventory is full.
So we're just still trying to increase our percentage of damage and ranged requirements. Frankly, it's percentage of damage that we're interested in. It kind of doesn't matter range requirements. I don't think I'm going to run into a bow and arrow that puts me so ahead. I'm gonna give 2 points here and a few points here to defense, because my defense when I need it is still taking a little bit of damage. Right now we could do 645 damage on with our, see, 650 would be the maximum this weapon could do. 645 is the maximum this can do. So we are a few points short in our dexterity compared to the item we have. So pouring more into dexterity makes sense. But I do need strength and magic and armor for other reasons. Particularly, we're running into a growing collection of items that are armor based that require strength. Alright, so we are still picking up these health potions, but we're kind of picking up both. 3% increased gold find wouldn't be a terrible one to hold on to, particularly if I get up to level 100. But probably by the time I got to level 100, I would find things that were 5%, 10%, way higher as far as gold find, just on a frequent basis. We're still getting a lot of these items. See, 2% faster attack. So I'd almost have to enchant this to see if I could get a third socket, and I'm not sure any item gets 3 sockets. Ideally, you would want something to add 4 sockets, or even 6 sockets. but I don't think that happens. Now I gotta kind of move around my mouse to make sure I've picked up everything in these areas. There, I think I've got everything, so we can move on. Eventually we'll get to trying to upgrade our spells. I think that you get a decent amount of gold by selling your health potions. So if I could get my dog's heal spell to actually be upgraded and do a significant amount of healing, that would be a way to use less healing potions. But I'd probably be better increasing charm spells first, because I'm using 2 charm spells that are summoning skeletons and zombies. So I have like 2 spells built around that concept, and if I could, I'd give even a 3rd spell to the dog around that concept. So yeah, charm spell improvements are the first group to improve. But we're running into a lot of medium tier enemies these days. Things that are taking 3 clicks, but not taking 6 or 8 clicks. Let's see. Summon some zombies. We'll see how those zombies handle everything. And then we'll run over this area and see what else we can clear out. Storyline, I believe we killed all of the... We are no longer corrupted from the Ember, which frankly is a story that never was going anywhere and literally did go nowhere. And instead now we are trying to save Syl, who is the girl that has been helping us, but is quite frankly such a non-character, like all the characters, that I didn't even really know her name. So that does bring about an interesting thought about Torchlight 2 and what characters you play as. It might as well be a random assortment of heroes. You kind of got some of that feeling, and I think Gearbox particularly got this wrong between Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. In Borderlands 2, you're given 4 new characters you're playing as, and then the 4 main characters from Borderlands 1 are turned into non-playable NPCs of severe importance. I think that was definitely a mistake. So in Torchlight 2, even though these characters that we've been playing as are basically nothing, there undoubtedly will be a small percentage of players that have implanted some kind of affinity for the characters, even if you're just looking at them on the load screens, and that was all it took to kind of make you reminiscent of them. Certainly every time I look at the load screen, I am a little bit nostalgic, just a very tiny bit nostalgic for the characters. So yeah. As for Diablo, you're not really playing any specific character in Diablo 1. If anything, there's a weird cutscene that was made kind of by nobody in charge, so it, I think, shows that the character you play as, or the idea as I interpret it on the weird cutscene, is that you defeat Diablo and then you become Diablo using magic, which, yeah, barely makes any sense at all. That you're somehow like demonically drawn into being the new body of Diablo that the spirit
Your pet has
of Diablo
departed.
controls. So yeah, I think in Diablo 2 you're not returning as any of the characters. Certainly some of the NPC characters return, and that's good, but yeah. So you'd almost need to allow the 3 characters to return and then introduce 3 new classes in Torchlight 2, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah. I think by the time you're at Diablo 2, you are running into more than just a archer and a mage and a barbarian. At some point we're gonna have to travel back to the city, but I'm trying to reduce as many of those trips as possible. We have a lever, and we have a lever over here. Ooh, these are different kinds of enemies. Some kind of cat-like creatures. Is this one really hitting hard? Not so hard. Is this a Medusa character? Yeah. I think it's called Medusa. Let's go ahead and cast some skeletons. As she makes clones of herself. Which, yeah, Diablo 1 did that. I'm fairly certain it did. So this is the Lost Fortress. It's apparently not counting as a level. So maybe I get down 50 levels, but actually I'm further than it seems. So I guess you needed to hit both of the switches here, and then release the big crossbows. No cutscene there, just a boss. And a waypoint. Frankly, let's use the waypoint. Yeah. These are interesting looking characters in that single solitary piece of art. There's nothing else besides that though. Just really, really boring characters that you don't have any backstory, I don't think at all. Let's see. We need to look. Here we have the ambitious sandals, which is increased experience gain, which is better than what I have as unique boots. So we will put those on, and we'll put these away, and then we have dexterity points that you could get through the ring, but I'm not really interested in that. And have nothing else. So
Well, hello.
let's go ahead and sell these. He still doesn't have the top tier things. We'll see if we have anything that comes anywhere close to our bow or is part of a set. Of course, I'm really just repeating myself at this point. Everybody, if you've been watching and paying attention up to this point, it's pretty obvious what you need to do. There's too many little things you need to check off to try and get this all to work. You're looking for something that's part of a set in the armor and maybe in the weapons, and then that's it. Doesn't seem like he has anything this time. Right. Now these boots are just another set at level 17, which would be, it's not part of the blackfish, but I'll leave it at level 17. So I think I have a full set of court finery. I think that's all that will ever be. So if you were to play as a new character, you could play with the Gorgon equipment level 1, work your way up to level 2 to use Valcone's nose wipers, work your way up to level 11 and 12 to use the court pieces, work your way up to 11 to use the trance equipment, and then work up to 17, then work up to the highest one. I guess this is level 8. This is not in the right place. This really should be over here. And then I've got several other things. This all should be sorted by levels. And I'm going to quickly run out of space. This guy will give us a reward for the special item we found, which will just be another map and some fame.
Hello there. We have begun a new quest.
And let's see. She'll see, summon skeleton 6. Alright. Summon skeleton warriors to attack. I've summoned skeleton 3 right now. Really wouldn't cost me too much to upgrade that. Heal self. Let's see. 3 sting epic brass ring. Summon skeleton 6. I don't need 2 of the same spells. But look at any of these other items. And we'll just buy a bunch of these. 1% increased health. Experience gain. I don't think I have anything that's not increased experience gain by 2% at this point, even on the dog. Which we never named a dog, which is weird. You would kind of think it would come with some kind of name. But I guess not. Alright.
See ya.
So she's got nothing for me either. We have another one of these mysterious map scrolls. Which I really am just gonna, if I'm gonna use them at all, I'm gonna open them on level 50. Let's see, we have a deep ember, dull deep ember, and cracked deep ember. We're missing a discolored deep ember. We have a discolored life ember. We have a cracked life ember, and we have a regular life ember. So we'll take 2 life embers, merge them together, see if that becomes star life ember. I don't think it does. We have a dull flow ember, which means we can do that. And then we have a cracked flow ember, which means we can take all of that. We have a healthy chaos gem, which will just give you plus 12 health. Plus 12 health is not really worth anything. Cracked eyeball. Do we have another cracked eyeball? No. We have a starfire ember with, I guess we could see if maybe we could merge 2 starfire embers together. And a cracked core ember, which doesn't do anything, so we'll put that there. And then a cracked pure ember, which, yeah, we don't have anything for that either. Then we have a swift chaos gem that is 2% faster attack. This has a socket ability, so would I want to give it like a massive increase in armor, 16 armor, to make this a 31, or do something else with it? Yeah, I think you go 16 armor here. This cut pure ember is not really likely to be upgraded by much, so put that there. I don't think we have anything else that is missing a socket except for this item, which maybe the problem is if I put something in an item like this, it's never coming out, which I guess means if it was a part of a set, it might as well just be in there, because I never destroy this, and even if I did destroy it, it's not like those would help me any. Right, so we need to now go to transmutation, and while we can transmute this is not what I really wanted to transmute. Skip. I wish we would just get rid of all of these, or that these would just auto transmute. Okay. Spells. Summon skeleton 4, summon skeleton 6. Control left click, and then learn. And then summon skeleton 6. Okay. Meanwhile,
Good journey.
we need all of these gems, which I guess I can just shift click over there.
Hail.
Let's see, discolored and discolored. Fire gems turn into fire ember, and fire ember turn into a cut fire ember, which is not a starfire ember. What is in this, by the way? I don't really know, but it's clearly not a starfire ember or a cut fire ember. It must have just been a fire ember. So, of course, to get those gems out, I'd have to get rid of this mountain bow, and I don't think I'd want to do that. Dull flow ember transmutes to discolored flow ember, which transmutes into flow ember, which gives us, okay, so we have a dull flow ember and a flow ember. Now, Life Ember and Life Ember. Transmutes to cut to Life Ember, which is not Star Life Ember. Alright.
Good luck to you.
Not too much micromanaging going on here, just more than I would like. Discolored and cracked. The red goes here. And Flow Ember. Let's see, cut Flow Ember and Flow Ember. Yep. We are just slowly increasing everything. If I could destroy this ring and get back the gems, there might be a replacement ring that I need to find. Yeah, we might be getting down to that point. And we have just enough money to try the gamble one more time and see if we can enchant this with a 16% chance of disenchanting.
Fortune is kind to you.
Shoo! Off with you.
We're looking for increased experience gain. And I'm not sure you can actually get increased experience gain. So we're just going to keep on pushing it and seeing what it does until it disenchants the whole piece of equipment. If that happens, then there's probably not a reason to use a 58 armor at that level. We've got faster cast speed, faster movement speed, everything except for increased experience. There's really no good reason that I should be using that stuff. Yeah. What I was mentioning is, yeah, I guess if you wanted to, you could grind and go to the mines entrance, which was so long ago. I doubt any of this stuff would reset in the middle of the action. I really should be gambling more. And over here, this whole section is not unlocked, and I don't think it unlocks until the end of the game. And we don't even have another portal quest. So let's look at our quests just to make sure we have 3 incomplete ones. Yes. And travel down to the Lost Fortress. Which, if you look at that, it certainly does feel like there's halfway to go, which is insane. Gold items are unique, purple items are members of sets which gain. That's not even true. Not all purple items are. Blue items are purple. Maybe I can't tell the difference between blue and purple.
True glory. I find now that I have no desire other than to serve him and to show his glory to the world. My years of study are nothing to Ordrak's vast centuries dwelling in Ember. But still, my knowledge sometimes surpasses his. His spirit infuses the Ember. It could be concentrated further, bringing his voice to the world. Syl will see the potential. Together, we will.
This is the first time he's mentioned Syl in the journal.
Us, blinded by the radiance of our ascendancy. None will dare question.
And certainly he sounds a lot crazier now than he did in any of the previous journal entries. So it's like you're reading his journal chronologically, but only in a few instances. Again, this doesn't feel like this feels like this could be the end. We've got like lightning and clouds all over the place. We've got dragons walking around. We've got Oops. So, will we get the loads? Will we get the journal dialogue a second time? Probably not. One would assume not. It's another case of the enemies being allowed to walk too close to the stairs. So it's another area. Somebody's clearly been paid to make these 3D statues. It's another area that is supposedly just one more floor below. So how there can be a vast cavern yet again. It implies that every time you're going down a floor, you're going down hundreds and hundreds of feet, which is questionable to say the least. These guys seem like they might be a little bit stronger, but they're not driving me to take a lot of damage. Let's go ahead and get some of the skeletons. Oops. Did I just die? 300 gold. That's nothing. Gotta be more careful. This is kind of the problem when you're trying to rush through this. These, I believe, are portals that will take you into different areas. So, I'm gonna have to be careful about clicking on those too. These guys are still getting one-hitted though. As long as they don't run up on me and I don't run into any named character, just taking a small break would probably have enough to have the dog. Let's see. Alright, so we just wait for the dog to cast his heal all spell and see how that works. It's not very good. Probably should start putting some points into the heal all spell. Dropping a lot of things. Let's take a moment here. Do something different. So, if you go into the pause menu that zooms in and then messes with the camera, you still can't really get a good look at the statues. You can get a kind of good look at the 3D models of the bodies clipping through the wall there, but it's kind of it. Like, maybe if I stood like this, just on the edge, you could kind of see a statue. So no real 3D modeling going on, or 3D model viewing. Definitely 3D modeling, just no way to see the 3D models.
My health is low.
Alright. We need to get around the idea of where these portals are coming from and what's in them. Probably need some more resistance too. Alright, dog, are you gonna do heal all? Yeah, he's doing like a quarter health, and then he has like a 30-second cooldown, so he can't do it again in a reasonable amount of time. So these aren't things that I can move through. Sorry, you're not gonna do the heal all spell again? There we go. again. Doing about a quarter health. He needs some major improvement there. Otherwise, I'm just back to using potions, which I kind of want to avoid doing. I thought these were portals, but I guess they're not. My concern slightly is that they are enemy spawn locations that never stop spawning enemies. Which then that would allow you to, once you get to level 30, to just grind constantly and get really, really overpowered. Right. I feel like they wanted you to run into some more difficulty when you start fighting this group of enemies. And if I wasn't playing on easy, I feel like I would probably be running into more difficulty. Even now I'm taking a lot more damage, and I think it is elemental damage in particular that they're dealing. This would be a fine location to fight a Diablo-esque demon. But since it's been such a long journey at this point, it almost feels like you should be in a mine location again, just to go full circle. Yeah. It's kind of funny, when I summon the zombies, it really doesn't make any kind of summoning sound. You just hear the zombies make a zombie sound, which could easily be misinterpreted as just more enemies making sound effects. See, I was thinking that the next section needed smaller enemies that swarmed you, and instead they've given you little dragons, known for being larger enemies that overpower you. You are getting kind of swarmed, I guess. I'm about to die.
I'm wounded.
It's these, I guess they're called enslaved creatures. They hit hard. And increasing your resistance on elemental effects is not an easy thing to do. It would require either getting new items or enchanting my current armor. So the only other thing I could try and do is increase my armor's rating by a lot more, and I don't think that that would even help. So it seems the game is just going to force me to two really giant named characters in the corner.
My pack is full.
Alright. Inventory time. Time to play the real game, Inventory Hero. Alright. Not that. Not that. Not that. Not that. Not that. They're still not dropping anything close to useful. So I guess maybe they're saying that this is a blue item where this is a purple item, or maybe there's a blue background item that I just haven't seen a lot of. Maybe that would be questionable to say the least. Right. Now, if I just stand here, logically it would be nice if you walked around and picked up things that were dropped. But I won't. So, with those giant dragon bodies, I have no clue if I missed something or not. Here we've got yet another named character. Like, this is probably because my treasuring is up by 25%. Or that I'm just really, really overpowered, and it starts to make a lot more sense for them to try and throw big named characters at me than it does for them to try and throw small groups of weak characters. This is the 4th or 5th named character in a row. It's like we're going through a marathon.
You have gained in experience.
Is it a case that the game just decided I needed to gain some more fame? Is that what that really boiled down to? Like, why so many named characters? Okay, so they're still hitting hard. We need a little bit more damage to get up to 650. That's the maximum I can do. Otherwise, it all needs to go into armor, which I don't really know what my armor maximum would be, and I don't even know how I'd actually calculate it. So we have offensive spells here, defensive spells. The heal all is a defensive spell. So I'm going to give it 2 points, which I'm hoping that is right. Otherwise I just put 2 more points into increasing the damage of my bow, which that certainly wouldn't have been a problem either. So now this is rank 3, which will have a 447 health recovery. We have 1625 total. I think 2000 health is probably close to the maximum that you need to worry about. So the next one would be 507 health recovery. Over the course, over 4 seconds. Yep. The other part of this calculation, I think, also is that this is just heal all 3, where there probably is a heal all 4 and a heal all 5. Increased experience gained by 1%. Do we have anything that this would be better for? Strength, fire resistance, and experience gain. I feel like that is a better ability. Let's see, what was the difference in damage? Ooh, kind of a significant amount of difference in damage there, while still having the same experience gain. This would be potion damage, and honestly I don't think that ring probably is too helpful. Poison damage, since he's not really doing any poison damage. This gun is nothing. This necklace, what does he have? By increased gold find. If you could find increased experience on the necklace, that would probably be helpful. Alright. So you're done, dog. Send
Your
you
pet has departed.
out. I want to be a little bit cautious. It's like just another character, another named character just down the street. This is insane. It's like we hit the bonus level, which I guess that's cool. Like, it does make sense that the goblin dwarven treasure houses were full of gold, and now we're in an area that is full of very strong enemies. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to be dumping a lot of points into armor and defense. Going forward. See, this is where it lined up, I think, when I first played the game, is that the final boss had a lot of elemental damage that he did also, which caused a similar scenario to what's happening here. Just a lot of damage. Keep on playing, keep on grinding. You know, I'm trying, every time I do a session of recording, I do 2 or 3 hours, and then it gets dull. It gets really dull. This is probably a great game to play alongside playing something else. Just to get a different variety of things. But the only other thing I'm playing, which is what I regularly play, is Hearthstone, that I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that's barely even paying attention to Hearthstone and mostly just looking at new games that came out. Which, a lot of that is news reporting more than reality. Never have enough time to play every game that comes out. Nobody does. Nor do I have enough funds to afford every game that comes out. Nor are every games that comes out even worth playing. A lot of times the game's alright, and Torchlight would be kind of a great example of this. Is if Torchlight came out today, it'd be an alright game to play, but I would have to compare it to every other AAA game that was out at the same time and think to myself, is there really enough hours in my schedule to play this game? And the answer probably would be no, particularly if it's just an apples to apples comparison, and the question was, do you want to play this, or do you want to play Diablo 2 a second or third or fourth or fifth or sixth time as a different character? It's a hard choice to say just play Diablo 2 again. And I don't feel like by the time we get through this, if we wanted to play as a different character, the experience would be very different, because the experience is not very varied. Even now, we're seeing a lot of repetitive content. I believe that is a teleporter. But I think the teleporter just takes us to another section. I think you're safe. Relatively safe. Oh man. I can't lose experience and fame, that would be insane. Losing 1,000 gold. That price like tripled then. And if I start dying a lot, then I won't be able to afford it, and then the whole effort of collecting items and such becomes questionable, because if all your money is just going to reviving yourself. Remember, I also didn't die at all until level 25. And it feels like just yesterday that we were at level 25 and now we're at level 30. Honestly, it feels like the exact opposite of that. It feels like it's taken way too long to go down 5 levels. There's just a whole hallway here of enemies. The named enemies. It's kind of a boring journey back. They might as well have just always allowed you to respawn in the same place without such a cruel penalty. That rather is asking too much to lose fame and experience. Not until I guess had the entirety of everything unlocked, then I guess it wouldn't really matter too much. If I have all my skills at rank 10, then there's nothing more that fame brings you, and experience doesn't really do anything for you. These guys are hitting too hard. This guy's elemental damage. Here, cast a spell. Yeah, it's still not good enough. And almost certainly when I go through that portal, I'm going to end up running through another collection of enemies. Still... Well, you can't go back. Okay, so maybe it will just center me back where I was. Is that enough to get me to the top? No. Oh, okay, so it does just loop you back. At least that time it did. I'm not sure I believe it always will. The problem with this is this was my strategy. This is exactly what I wanted to be able to do, was to run around an area and bring a bunch of enemies towards me in hopes of reducing
I'm overburdened.
reducing the amount of items and time it takes to play the game. It's just not working that way though. Alright, So we have a ring that would increase experience and ice damage. I don't think that that's better than that. So we'll sell that, sell that, sell that, sell that, sell that. And you have some helmet for 20 armor, but it doesn't increase in experience. So nothing there. All this is garbage. Like magic attribute bonus and faster cast speed. If I was using magic more often, maybe I'd consider that. There we go. Did we get everything else? The fact that these are taking 2 or 3 hits is a problem, because it does, that really implies to me that I can't get my damage up high enough to take on these types of enemies without it killing me. And then there's some poison skeletons and hitting me with electricity attacks. The problem with the situation I'm in right now is I can't really solve this with a shopping trip either. If I go back to the town and try to buy Heal 5, it won't be available almost certainly. If I sell all my items and try to enchant something new, it won't work. If I try to gamble on some new armor, chances are that wouldn't succeed either. So, kind of just out of luck. We need major resistance. And if we knew this was coming up, if there had been any kind of warning, this is probably a warning, frankly, for level 50, is that you need major resistance increase by putting all the gems and all the pieces of armor going forward. Like a major poison resistance and a major skill-wise, we could think about that. Is there something that would be an item that would reduce poison? I don't think so. As a mage, a class skill that would reduce poison. This increases experience gain. We've had a 20% increase in experience gain and potion effectiveness, and still that's not enough. Maybe it would be under battle? Let's see. Frailty increases poison damage and slows everything else down. Block and parry, but I think increases the chance of a block with or without a shield. Actually, that's probably not a bad idea. Because I don't have a shield, so, and right now I know my character stat is chances to block is 0%. So yeah, if I could fix that, that'd be great. Otherwise, I just need a major increase in poison resistance at 39. I'm fine as far as ice damage and electric damage. Probably needs to go higher. Critical chance is only 10%. I wonder what's increasing that. Let's see, what would increase critical chance? It's got to be under battle. Something's got to increase critical chance. We're looking for a passive spell that would increase critical chance. So passive means always enabled. Chance to block. Defense spells. Charm spell increase. Critical hit chance. Here it is. So I could put more points into that, I guess. But it doesn't seem like, at least for the mage, and I don't know if any of these skills change too much for the archer. They don't seem like they were any different to my vague memories from 10 years ago. That doesn't really mean anything, but it does seem like the skills are somewhat exactly the same for all three of the characters. So I need to find a piece of armor with a socket, use that piece of armor, and where did I just go? I just accidentally went through a portal, so now we're taking a side trip. And we're trapped in this side trip. And that's the danger of portals opening up at random. These guys are... There's a lot of them, but they're pushovers. Something else to collect. We're back to the mines. And a level 6 version of a mine character. I don't know if these trolls were actually in the mines though. He is just getting everything. I'm just gonna summon skeletons to go and fight him for me. There we go. Did we miss anything else? Did we miss anything over here? I don't think we did. So swarms of spiders. We really didn't run into swarms of spiders in the first few mine sections. Maybe that's just because I had a weird collection of levels. It does have this weird feeling like the content I am seeing is just kind of a default map design when it feels like there should be more randomization and more action. Yeah, I don't remember seeing any spiders at all in the mines. Alright, so that and that and that and that. This is increased gold find at 36 armor. Let's get rid of that. Hold on to this because we may just throw that away. Off to a shop. Pet cannot depart from here. I don't think anybody can depart from here. This is not good. Yeah, I think maybe you town portal out of this area and you don't come back if you have to flee. These guys are killing me. Resurrect at the entrance of this floor. Lose the gold. I'm losing thousands and thousands of gold. I get it, game. I need poison resistance. I'm gonna be using every health potion I have if I don't get some poison resistance. So either drop a unique item with poison resistance or leave me alone long enough that I can deal with it. Control. It's just so many people. It's a really small area to have a fight. Okay. Are we good? Did we miss anything too important? I don't think we did. Through the portal we go. Okay, that brings us back to where we were, which we were taking on groups of enemies like crazy. Alright, so town portal, return to town. Okay. Look at everything that's undiscovered.
Hail.
And yeah, we're 13 minutes over. Even though we died several times there, there's not a bad turn of events from that. We still have 16,000 gold. The only thing is, I don't think I'm in a good position that I want to just continue to try to use that one piece of armor until I can get experience on it. I think I might be better off doing something else. Yeah. We have this, we might as well use this. So I'm gonna set my health potions back to those because I'm wasting things otherwise. And then
Good day to you.
while we're here, because I don't want to end up doing things in the middle of, at the beginning of the next episode, I want to end up shopping for a long time. What do we have? We have 650. Do we have anything that could do above 650? I don't think so. These are labeled blue. I'm fairly certain I'm not colorblind, but the text at the top that says blue heavy plate sabatons looks lavender looks purplish to me, whereas the item description +4 electrical resistance down below is clearly blue. I keep running into this issue where I think there are either people that are colorblind and don't realize it, or there are people... I've got to buy this. I've got to buy this and just try and get that enchanted at 99 armor. That's insanely good. Yeah, I think people don't know what the name of things are, or think blue. People disagree on what blue looks like, or at the very least I'm disagreeing what blue looks like, because this item here has, to me, a purple background, purple text. So when we look at something like this, which is also blue, that looks fine. This also looks blue. Now this does have purple in its title, so maybe that's the thing, is you have lavender versus purple in the title when it's part of a set. That might be really all it boils down to. Right, we finish the skull, and we'll accept that. We probably, if there is a quest down here, should take it and do it, because we're not doing well right now. Alright, heal all 5. Let's look at the dog. He's got heal all 3.
What can I do for you?
So heal all 5 goes to the dog. Meanwhile, we're looking for other useful things. This is a cracked fire ember. More and more we're seeing the salesman just sell these instead of anything else useful. Right, so defense and fire, health, map scrolls. We may have to do a map scroll actually. Increase magic find. Fireball 6. It's not a spell I want. So I guess if I just look at the top of the title of things, that probably would also point out easily. Yeah. So if I will just pay attention to titles going forward. Alright. Do we have any other quests that need to be done? No. Alright, so here's the deal. 58 armor with a ridiculous amount of extra things on it, versus spend less money and start with 99 armor and give up on this. Just sell it as it is. What would this sell as? 207. It has a requirement of level 18, where this has a requirement of level 35. So it probably is a better move to just put this piece of equipment in here. It's like, hey, we've got this level 58 piece of armor we never got to use, but that doesn't mean it's bad. So, enchant.
Fortune smiles on you.
We're looking for increased experience, and frankly, if we don't get increased experience, we will probably still use it.
You are unlucky.
Farewell.
I'm not sure I even have enough money for it. Yeah, I can't.
I've got the finest
This ring.
gems and Ember.
Yeah, sell that.
Bye bye. I've got the finest cut gems in Ember. See you later.
Okay. Green. Green is the number one thing we need to focus on. And then purple. I think we've got enough purple to merge. And then core. And then the red here would be cracked and discolored. I don't think there's anything with the reds that we can do right now. So that's fine. We're cracked core and a cracked core and another cracked core. We have a cracked eyeball, which would put us in a position, I think, to move the eyeball up quite a bit. This healthy chaos gem. It's not something we need to use right now. Purple undoubtedly is going to be a factor. Or cracked cold ember and dull cold ember. Doesn't mean anything. So yeah, this is going here. Major increase in armor. And we're also going to put a green in it, so there's a danger. I could do cracked skull. It's not going to move the skull systems up much, though. Alright.
Hi there.
So, start with cracked core ember, and a cracked core ember to make a dull core ember. That's all we can do here. Cracked eyeball and a cracked eyeball, which is a terrible name. It's just using the same naming convention, but a crack and an eyeball is a horrific thought. Now we have a cut eyeball, which is just as bad. And this would be mana stolen, so like pretty much wouldn't ever even use that. Do we have two discolored ones? No, we have a cracked and a cracked, which then makes a discolored and a discolored. Well, dull and a discolored. Alright. And 2% faster attack was the gem I put in that. That's not even a big deal. This would be 18 points or 13 point poison resistance. Let's make sure we can't do better than that before we go. So, oh yeah, we have a ton of core ember stuff that we can still do. Green wise, we have 19 points poison resistance. This is the Star Life Ember. That's gotta go in there. So, character sheet wise, now we're at 48 poison resistance and a lot less electrical resistance, unfortunately. So, hopefully, I am taking poison damage and not damage from something else. It's hard to tell because all the animations are a little wonky. Take this stack of full health while you're at it, and let's just, in an effort to save time, not deal with that. And this piece of armor is a level 2 piece of armor, so that fictional new character would be set right well.
Hi there.
You really would have a much better experience the second time you played this game. But why would you play the game? That's the part that falls apart. It doesn't make any sense.
Take care now.
Why would you bother to play the game at all when you have already beaten it once? Let's see, is there anything else that could use a gem? I don't think so. So, next recording. Oh wait, did we have a bunch of gems in here? Yeah, we did. Alright. I forgot about those. It just goes on and on. 25 minutes over. The game is just taking longer and longer. An interesting experience here. Also, the look at. So this increases, this is 479. This will be, I don't know, it requires level 26. So you have to control and left click to forget it, but only control and left click once or you'll forget the other spell. Because it moves over. No reason for it to move over. That's just there to confuse you.
Well, hello.
What we didn't look actually to see how much that healing works. By the way,
Fortune smiles on you.
Discolored skull, cracked skull, cracked skull.
Fortune smiles on you.
Discolored skull. Alright.
Take care now.
So how much does this recover? 761 over 4 seconds. Yeah. So almost half. And as we get the skills up, I think we will see heal all doing over half the amount of healing, which is what we wanted. Right. Skulls. Just put them down here. And we've got a ton more purple, don't we? We have a dull deep ember and a dull deep ember, and we might as well just get all of this done.
Hi there.
It's so micromanagey. How did they not figure out that the transmuting cube, or whatever it was called, the something cube in Diablo 1 or 2, maybe it was in Diablo 2. Having that as an item that you were just carrying around, though, was so much useful and better. So you could break up the gameplay yourself without going through long processes like this, where it's just insane. It's total insanity that you would ever really want to go through all of this. And have to come back through a loading screen to the main area to go through all of this. So we get our inventory set. We've increased our armor by, I think, a decent amount. I guess when our defense is at 77, our armor rating affects our defense, I guess. You kind of need to, like, help button somewhere you could click. We've increased our poison absorb, we've reduced our electric absorb. If our electric absorb was doing anything, it wasn't doing enough. I'm about to level up again. Skill wise, we're still, I guess, going with defensive. Well, I guess I could go for offensive. I don't think that would help much right now. Maybe critical strikes are the next thing to think about. But I need the heal all spell to really work, so I stop spending the health potions, because I need to start selling the health potions at this rate just to have money. Let's see, quest wise, we have one more quest we're about to get, and then where's the journal? It's J. We're at 15 hours and 21 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, an hour and 30 minutes in, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you could friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.